In today's video, we'll be showing you how we make our maple sugar from our maple syrup that we harvested this year. Welcome to the Timberstone Ranch kitchen. I'm Jenny, and we will be turning this maple syrup into beautiful maple sugar. Before we get started, I want to go over with you the tools and equipment you will need to turn this maple syrup into maple sugar. So obviously we'll start with the first ingredient is actual maple syrup. As I was mentioning before, this maple syrup is our maple syrup that we harvested from this season. Pure, natural, organic. We didn't add any additives, nothing. It's really pure and really good. So this is about a quart of maple syrup. Usually it will yield to about 20% more sugar. So in this case, we have 2 glass jars that we will be putting our sugar in. We will also be using a hand mixer, a candy thermometer, a food processor, a pot, a sifter, and a stainless steel bowl. So first things first, we need to pour our maple syrup into our pot. I'm just trying to get as much of it inside, because this is like our liquid gold, so you don't want nothing going to waste. So most people add a little bit of butter to the rim of their pot to prevent it from overboiling, or they even use a wooden spoon that they could put across. That also helps them with the overboiling. But in our case, we will watch it closely and hopefully we don't make a mess of our kitchen. Next, we are gonna set our temperature to high. So we're gonna turn this on. Like so. Then we're gonna watch this closely and wait for it to boil. While we wait for our maple syrup to boil, I would highly recommend you check out our other videos we did about making the maple syrup, like setting up our evaporator, tapping the trees, collecting the sap, and making our maple syrup. I'll be putting the links in the description below, or you can even watch our maple syrup playlist. Our family really enjoys the maple syrup, but they actually love the maple sugar as it's very useful in many ways. Like you can use it in baking, you can use it for your coffee, and what we also like about it is the long-term storage it has. Now, as you can see, our maple syrup has started to boil, so we're gonna put our candy thermometer in. And we need to watch for the temperature to reach 262 Fahrenheit. And remember to keep watching this maple syrup so it doesn't overboil. I have my wooden spoon here ready for it, so I can start stirring it to prevent it from overboiling. If you feel like the maple syrup will overboil, you can briefly take off the pot from the burner and then put it back on. As you can see in the thermometer, we're just about to hit the 262 Fahrenheit. So we need to watch this very, very closely. So we're gonna turn this off and we're gonna move it so it doesn't keep boiling. Now we can remove our candy thermometer. Now we're gonna start using our hand mixer to make the maple sugar. Most people only use 1 beater, but we use 2 as we find it makes less clumps. You can see it's starting to thicken up. Almost looks like caramel at this point. We just gotta keep going. As you can see, it's even starting to turn a lighter color now. It's almost ready. Yes, sugar is here. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Just like that, we got maple sugar. Making a little bit of mess here. We're gonna finish the rest in our food processor. As you can see, we made quite a mess here. Now that we have our maple sugar here, we're still not quite done. The next step is I'll just take a regular spoon and I'll spoon some out from the pot and we'll put it through our sifter. I'm gonna put this closer. You gotta be careful because at this point the sugar is still really hot. So you gotta resist the urge to just pop one of these in your mouth. You don't want to burn yourself. And we sift it just like this. Now that we have these big chunks of sugar, we're gonna put it in our food processor to grind them up into more finer pieces. So now we'll just continue the process of putting the sugar into our sifter until this container is about halfway through so we can start grinding. Now that we have about half of our container, we're gonna start grinding these up. Okay. Okay, we just wanna make sure that we don't do it too much, otherwise we're gonna end up with powder instead. So it's okay because once you have this, you will put it through the sifter once again and repeat the process with the big chunks and putting them back in here. I'm going to be picking up these big pieces right here, putting them back into our pot to put them through the processor again. But the rest, if you could see, these are good enough to put into our bowl. I'm just gonna mix this up for more consistency. We're almost done sifting the sugar. And since this is pure goodness, you don't want to let all this go to waste. We're going to show you what we do here at the ranch to get these off the walls and put these through the processor. You might need some man strength here, as this is very hard to get out. So I have here Patrick helping.
Good.
So as you can see, Patrick took out these big pieces, and what some people do is they actually keep these big pieces and they put them into a jar and they use them for coffee or for baking or just to eat them as candy. So that's an option too if you don't want to put them through the grinder, but we like to use it for sugar, so we will be putting them through the grinder. This looks so beautiful. This sugar almost looks like beach sand with all the beautiful colors in there. We are going to let this cool down a little bit. And once that's cooled down, we will be filling our jars with this beautiful maple sugar. Now the maple sugar is fully dried, so we're gonna start putting it in our jars. We'll be using a funnel to help us load the maple sugar easier. So we're gonna use the help of a spoon to put this in here so we don't spill it all over the place. So that's about a jar full now. So we're gonna put our lid on. Shake it a little bit. You don't need to do this, but I just do it. And there you go, guys. Nice jar of pure organic maple sugar. So this is an equivalent to a 1-to-1 ratio with regular white sugar. Some people find it a little bit sweeter, so if you do find it a little bit sweeter, you can use a tiny bit less. And of course, the yield is, like I mentioned before, a little bit more than what you put in. So we started off with about a quart. So we have a little bit more than a quart. So we're gonna fill up our second jar and call it a day. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate that. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate you hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate you subscribe. We would love to have you here on our channel. We have more videos like these and anything going on around the ranch coming up soon. So I hope you enjoy that. And let me know in the comments how your maple sugar turned out, and if you have any other tips or tricks that maybe we missed, that you can help us out. Thanks, have a great day, enjoy your day.